I want to give you one more example here. And instead of a little rhythmic idea, let's think of a little harmonic idea. And maybe it's the general theme of this note, right? Let's go into one of our potentially dissonant kind of attitude notes, a flatted fifth. And so again, as an improvisational kind of game or goal here, I want to see how that note might find itself in the melody of Bill Cheatham. 1, 2, 3, go. What was interesting about that experience as I'm improvising is that it got more fun as I played. There were some moments early on where I felt like this may not have been a good idea. How am I going to do this? But again, I am really kind of digging deep to make sure I know where the song is, and that sort of spirit of improvisation, that sort of building block 3, kind of accepting that. When I kind of didn't fight it as much, I found more fun things to do with that. But again, you heard the melody of Bill Cheatham, but you also heard that note happen. Obviously, you heard a lot of other things going on too. And ultimately, what was fun about that is that you heard me having fun. Again, when we think about improvisation ultimately as this big picture kind of way to communicate, I was using one little kind of prompt here to just have fun with the song. What was also interesting about that is that that's a note that if a lot of us hit that note while we're trying to play Bill Cheatham, we might say, ooh, that's wrong. That note is not in the song. That note, can't work. But if I've done anything here is prove that it can. It may not feel like this sort of traditional version of Bill Cheatham, but it gave me some fun, it gave me some value, gave me certainly an improvisational experience that was very real, very personal, very honest. And so as you practice this, that's what you're aiming for, is how that motif or that theme, again, a rhythmic idea, harmonic idea, how can we jump into the tune? We don't even know where it's going to show up, but we kind of know it's there. Maybe we aim for it and then listen and react. What is that moment that happens? What does that sound like? What does that do to us? How can I not fight it but accept it and just say, yes, that happened and this can happen? The yes and sort of method of improvisation is a really tried and true technique to help us notice that momentum and that idea of when I am in this improvisational spirit. It's about this flow of my energies and flow of what I'm noticing in the moment, leading to the next moment, leading to the next moment. And that kind of improvisational focus in our practice can really bring that up to the forefront in a good and regular way as far as your practice. The last thing to say about this practice method is that when we get into a song and that theme or motif changes, and it might do that. I notice it does in mine. And this speaks to maybe more what I would notice in real time, or when you hear a great improviser like Chris Thiele or Bela Fleck, when you're hearing them improvise, you may notice some little themes, some little repetitions that happen in their improvisation, but then they move away from it. And it's not necessarily some conscious decision of, I don't want to play that again. It's just that they noticed momentum going somewhere else and they didn't fight it. So the main thing is, again, it's fun to see how far we can get with this motif or this little theme or this kind of directive or prompt. But when or if that changes or morphs in the midst of your playing, again, follow that thread. Don't fight it. That is that playful, curious, what's around this corner over here kind of spirit of improvisation that is really kind of brought to the forefront in this kind of practice method. And so, again, to kind of close this section of improvisation out, These are concrete ways to practice. Oftentimes we think, I'm not sure what to do. All this stuff looks good on paper, but I'm not sure how to get this started. And really, it's about putting one foot in front of the other and getting started. And again, I'm happy to be part of this journey with you and provide this opportunity to say, I'm going to share this. I'm going to, even challenge myself with more improvisational performance. I'll turn on the camera and get a rhythm track going, and first take, let's see what happens. That's where we're really going to get, real value in improvisational practice too. And we can use that here with the VE process at ArtistWorks. So I look forward to more of this kind of conversation on an individualized level. So hang in there, have fun.